I watched her stare at that pregnancy test like her entire life depended on it. 10 minutes had passed. No lines. Nothing. Just a blank result and a blank stare. And then, out of nowhere, she whispered, "I think I did it wrong." My stomach dropped. Not because of the possibility of a baby, but because something felt off. Way off. Was I wrong for thinking this might all be a game? Or was I just finally seeing the truth? I'm 25 now. This story happened about a year ago when I was 24, and just getting out of what I thought was a situationship, until it almost became a lifelong entanglement. Let's call her Maya. She was 23, and we'd been seeing each other on and off for a few months. Nothing super serious, or at least I didn't think it was. We hung out. We slept together. We'd grab dinner sometimes. But there were never any conversations about exclusivity. We didn't meet each other's families. There were no good morning texts or late-night FaceTimes about the future. To me, it was casual, like a lot of things in your early 20s. But to Maya, it might have been more. That's not to say I mistreated her. I was honest. I made it clear early on I wasn't looking for anything long-term. And she'd said the same thing. "We're just having fun," she told me on more than one occasion. So I believed her. Why wouldn't I? But here's the thing. Sometimes people say things they don't mean. Not because they're malicious, but because they want to be wanted. And sometimes, we hear only what we want to hear. About 2 weeks after we drifted apart, no big fight, just a mutual slowdown in texting and hanging out, I got a message from Maya that made my blood run cold. "Hey, I think I might be pregnant." Just like that. No preamble. No emoji. Just 6 words that hit me like a truck. My first reaction wasn't fear, it was confusion. We hadn't been together in over a month. And even before that, we'd used protection every time. She was also on birth control, or so she told me. So I responded cautiously. "Have you taken a test?" She hadn't. That was the beginning of what became the most emotionally confusing week of my life. At first, I didn't respond after she told me she hadn't tested yet. I needed space. I didn't want to jump to conclusions or get carried away. But that silence, even though it was just for a day, didn't go over well. The next day, she sent me another message. "You ignoring me right now makes me feel so alone. I didn't make this baby by myself." That message hit me differently. Not because I agreed with it, I didn't even know if there was a baby, but because I realized how differently we were experiencing the situation. For me, it was a possibility I wanted to verify. For her, it was already real. Maybe it was her anxiety. Maybe it was just how she processes uncertainty. But she was acting as if the pregnancy was already confirmed, even though no test had been taken. Still, I felt guilty. I responded and apologized for the silence. "Let's meet up. We can go together. I'll buy the tests." She agreed immediately. We met at a pharmacy not far from her apartment. It was awkward. Not in a hostile way, just tense. Neither of us wanted to acknowledge how weird this was. I bought 2 tests. She didn't say thank you. I didn't expect her to. Her face was tight and pale, like someone about to take the SATs with no prep. She took the tests in the bathroom. And I waited. I've never stared at a tiled wall harder in my life. My mind was racing. What if it's positive? What if she wants to keep it? What if she doesn't? What if she wants to co-parent? What if she planned this? 10 minutes passed. No word. Then she cracked the bathroom door. "You can come in," she said quietly. I stepped inside. She had the tests on the sink, both facing up. Blank. Not a faint line. Not a maybe. Just blank. She frowned. "I think I did it wrong." I blinked. "What do you mean?" "I forgot to take the white cap off." I stared at her. Was that even possible? "Wait, the part you pee on." "Yeah. I didn't take the cap off. I think that's why it didn't work." I didn't know what to say. I wasn't mad. I wasn't even frustrated. I was just confused. How do you mess up something that simple? She looked embarrassed. I don't have to pee anymore. I'll just do it at home. I nodded. I didn't want to argue. I drove her home. No words were exchanged. I waited the rest of the night for an update. Around 10 p.m., she finally texted me pictures of both tests. Negative. She followed it up with a simple message. They're both negative. I responded, "Oh, okay. Good." She liked the message. That was the last time we spoke. You might be thinking, well, it's over. No pregnancy. No contact. Move on. And you'd be right, except something still doesn't sit right with me. Why was her first reaction to text me instead of just taking a test? Why wait almost 2 weeks after we stopped seeing each other to tell me? Why say she was out of pee when the test instructions are right there? Why forget to remove the cap? And most of all, why did it feel like this wasn't about a pregnancy at all? It felt like a last-ditch effort to reconnect. To bind us together again, even if just for a few more hours, days, or conversations. And that's where the guilt starts to creep in. Let's talk about Maya. Let's assume for a moment that she wasn't manipulating me, at least not intentionally. Maybe she thought she could be pregnant. Maybe she was terrified and didn't know how to handle it. Maybe she felt alone and reached out to the only person connected to the situation. Maybe her clumsiness with the test was genuine. Maybe she didn't plan this at all. Or maybe she did. Maybe it was a cry for attention. Maybe she thought, if I say I'm pregnant, he'll have to talk to me. If so, is that manipulation? Or just heartbreak? Is it deceit? Or desperation? I wonder sometimes if I was too passive, too emotionally unavailable, too quick to ghost, and too reluctant to give reassurance. We were never officially dating, but does that absolve me of emotional responsibility? Could I have been more supportive? Not just in the pharmacy moment, but before? Should I have checked in more when we were hooking up? Asked if she was doing okay emotionally. Did I make her feel disposable? Was I wrong for assuming the worst? For feeling like the pregnancy scare was fake? For walking away without digging deeper? Some people might say yes. I was cold, dismissive, and unwilling to face the emotional complexity of someone I'd been intimate with. Others might say no. I protected my peace, kept my cool, and was never accused or blamed, even when the whole situation screamed red flag. But here's the truth, I still don't know. I don't know if she was hurting or manipulating. It's been a year. I've moved on. I'm in a stable relationship now with someone who communicates openly and honestly. But sometimes, late at night, I still think about Maya in that pharmacy bathroom, staring down at that blank test. Was she hoping for a line? Was she afraid of one? Or was she just hoping I'd show up and care? That's what makes this so hard, because it wasn't about the test. It was about what we were, and what we weren't. Am I wrong? Now it's your turn. Was I heartless, or just protecting myself? Was Maya playing games, or genuinely scared and alone? Drop your verdict in the comments below. I want to know what you would have done. Would you have stayed longer? Asked more questions? Or walked away like I did? You be the judge.